Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Playing Pauper. So one of the things that people often say about Pauper is that it's basically Legacy-lite. It plays like Legacy but with all commons, and today's deck is kind of going to put that theory to the test, because I think this might be the most Legacy-feeling Pauper deck I've ever seen. I'm calling this one Blue-Black Delve. Basically a blue-black delve deck that also has Delver of Secrets. It's essentially like a blue-black tempo deck that's looking to churn through its deck at lightning speed with cantrips, get a bunch of cards in the graveyard, play a big threat or two, hopefully protect that threat and kill the opponent before they get a chance to recover or fight through the disruption and kill us or kill our threats, deal with our board. So it comes to us from Ironic Gentleman, who took it to a 7-0 finish in a Pauper challenge on Magic Online. So congrats to Ironic Gentleman on a super sweet deck. A quick reminder before we break down Blue-Black Delve for Pauper. If you enjoy this deck and you enjoy playing Pauper in general, it would be amazing of you if you take a second, click that subscribe button down at the bottom of your screen. It's a great way to support the channel and the site for free. So let's talk Blue-Black Delve. Starting with Delver of Secrets. So we are a Delver of Secrets deck, but we're really kind of a combo of Delver and Delve. So the idea of this deck is really simple. We have 10 major threats in our deck. Delver of Secrets, Sultai Scavenger, which is basically another Delver of Secrets. So we kind of got 6 1-mana 3-powered flyers. And then of course, Gurmag Angler. And the idea of this deck is to play our threats quickly. Early in the game, Delver can come down on turn 1. Hopefully by like turn 3, we can be playing our big Delve threats, and then just kind of protect that threat, attack our opponent, hopefully close out the game quickly with a bit of disruption. So to support our threats, we need kind of 2 things. For Delver, we just need spells in general. For our Sultai Scavenger and Gurmag Angler, our Delve threats, we need ways to get cards in the graveyard. So first off, we have about 1 million cantrips in this deck, but 2 of the most important ones are Thought Scour and also Mental Note, which is essentially like a functional version of Thought Scour, except you don't target someone, you just mill your own cards. Basically, these cards draw us a card, plus they mill 2 cards to get things in our graveyard for delving. Plus we can do some tricks with like Delver, manipulating the top of our library, or Brainstorm to put back cards we don't want, then Thought Scour them away. But mostly, they're just 1 mana, 3 cards in our graveyard for our Delve spells that also doesn't cost us a card. Then we have more traditional cantrips. Brainstorm, mentioned it before, works well with Thought Scour since we can put back 2 bad cards and then mill them over. Ponder, Preordain to just keep churning through our deck. Plus, remember, these are 1 mana, get a card in your graveyard, so it's basically reducing the cost of our Sultai Scavenger or our Gurmag Angler by 1 mana. So even better than just churning through our deck, finding our pieces, drawing a card, it's actually reducing the cost on our key threats as well. We also have Gitaxian Probe, which is essentially just a ritual when it comes to casting our Delve threats. 0 mana, card in the graveyard, take a peek at our opponent's hand to make sure they don't have like a counter spell or something, and we get to draw a card. Gush is kind of the same way, except we can't do it on turn 1 like Gitaxian Probe, but it is another free card in the graveyard because we can just pick up 2 islands. Our deck does not need many lands on the battlefield, which is another reason it feels like a Legacy deck. We really only need like 2, maybe 3 lands on the battlefield, so picking up the lands is not really a bad thing. Plus it can even be a benefit. One of the tricks of the deck is like gushing to pick up lands and then using a Brainstorm to shuffle those lands away and find more actual action cards, then Thought Scour away or shuffle, whatever, to get those cards off the top of our deck. But just more free cards in the graveyard, more card advantage churning us through our deck. Otherwise, for protection, we have Daze and also Spell Pierce. So Daze is free. It does get outclassed as the game goes along because people in Pauper know to be afraid of Daze, so good players will play around it, and it's not that hard to play around because it only counters unless the opponent pays 1 mana, and 1 mana, you know, it makes the opponent play a little bit off curve, but still, sometimes it is just insanely good. We play a Delver on turn 1, our opponent's like, alright, draw our land, play our land, Lightning Bolt or whatever, and we can just pick up the land to counter the removal spell on our Delver and our Gurmag Angler. Very, very strong there. Plus we can do the the same trick of picking up our land, shuffling it away with a Brainstorm. Spell Pierce, a little bit stronger in terms of protection, but does require actual mana. Then we have a bunch of cheap and free removal. So Snuff Out is free in our deck. We have some swamps. If we have a swamp, it's kind of like the Pauper Dismember. We just pay for life, destroy a non-black creature. Disfigure, good early game removal for cheap creatures. Ghastly Demise is insane in this deck because we get so many cards in our graveyard that it pretty much kills any non-black creature for 1 mana instant speed. And then Divest, I think of it as like a proactive removal spell that hopefully we're casting to get rid of the threat before our opponent can cast it. Also, it does give our blue-black deck some way to deal with artifacts. If our opponent's playing like the Kadoltha deck with random artifacts and stuff, equipment, whatever, we can use Divest as a way to get the artifact out of our opponent's hand. So a bunch of removal to clear out blockers, and it works really well with the plan of our deck, which, as I've been saying, play a threat, maybe 1 threat, maybe 2 threats at the most. We don't have that many in our deck. Play it early, protect it, force it through with some removal spells with our counter spells, and trust that our massive evasive flyers and our huge Gurmag anglers can close out the game before our opponent kind of draws out of our disruption. Mana base, Terramorphic Expanse, the evolving wilds of the deck, also Ash Barrens, basically there for shuffling purposes with our Brainstorm, Snow-Covered Island, Snow-Covered Swamp. There's no real reason to be snow-covered, but that was how the original deck was, so I just left it that way. Sideboard, we get a bunch more protection. Dispel, Spell Pierce as counter spells. Hydroblast, a counter spell for red decks, also a removal spell against red decks, really good against burn. Diabolic Edict gives us some removal against decks like Boggle, Shrivel, Nausea, giving everything -1/-1. Doesn't really hurt our stuff, assuming our Delver is flipped, and really key against decks like Elves that go wide with 1/1s. Stormbound Geist gives us a blocker against opposing Delver decks. It kind of blocks twice against decks with flyers. Augur Bolus, so we can get a little grindy and kind of resource-based matchups, finding a spell, leaving a body on the battlefield. And that is Blue-Black Delve for Pauper, and that is our playing Pauper deck for this week. So I don't know, I think this deck's gonna be fun. It feels very much like a legacy deck, and I think it's gonna be interesting to check out. We don't play a lot of Delver decks, but this one, with the cross between Delver and actual delving and so many sweet spells letting us churn through our deck, find our stuff at the right time, it should be a pretty cool deck to play. So anyway, let's get to our matches so we can see how this deck actually works. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon. All right, playing Pauper time. This week, oh boy, we've turned to the dark side of the world. We're playing Delvers. Actually, we're not just playing a Delver deck, we're playing Blue-Black Delve. It's basically a Blue-Black Delve deck. It reminds me of Death Shadow in... Ooh, Delver versus Delver, eh? It reminds me of Death Shadow in Legacy. Flip it. Yes, we'll flip with Ghastly Demise. Then we will Thought Scour ourselves. Then we will get in with Delver. Terramorphic Expanse, pass the turn. Come on, no flip. We're the lucky Delver people. Flips with the Disfigure. Opponent's playing the same deck. Boo. Boo. That's no fun. Opponent more Delvers. Alright. Maybe we should... we'll see. Opponent gets in. Well, crack Terramorphic. Grab a Swamp. Take our beats, kill the Delver, cycle Ash Barrens, grab a land, play the land and Delver, pass the turn. Who's luckier with their flipping? Opponent. Alright, not lucky this time. Ponder. I'm gonna set things up for the future. This is where one of our big Delve threats would be sweet. We have so many cards in the graveyard. Disfigure, well, it's Daze time. Keep our Delver. Hopefully flip our Delver. Opponent gets in. Yeah, we'll take it. Down to 16. Flipping? No. Well, let's preordain. Put on top. Put on top. Probe. Delver, Exhume, Forbidden Alchemy. Alright. Delver, Exhume, Forbidden Alchemy. Preordain. Do we divest the Delver? Or do we Scavenger? Yeah, let's divest. Take the Delver, play the island, get in with Delver. Hit our opponent. Opponent flips with a Chainer's Edict. We don't have a counter for that. So opponent's going to get to kill our Delver and play their own Delver. And has a flip Delver. We might be falling behind in the Delver mirror. Is our opponent going to go greedy? Opponent could go greedy and try to preordain into a land. All right, they just edict. So Delver down. Opponent gets it. We wouldn't mind another way to get rid of our opponent's Delver. Well, let's preordain. Do we want probe? Bottom the probe. Top the Daze. Scavenger. Exile some lands. Pass the turn. I feel like we're still behind though. Opponent preordains. We're ahead on mana, but being ahead on mana isn't especially helpful in the Delver mirror. Opponent gets in with Delver. Well, we will take it. Down to 8. Bajukabog. Well, I guess it's good news that we cast Scavenger last turn. Oh dear. Well, get in with Scavenger. Oh my goodness, that is the brutalist. That is the worst. Snow-covered island go. Opponent gets in with Delver. Wow. Main deck Bajukabog is pretty good. Opponent passes. I'll play a Delver. Pass the turn. Forbidden Alchemy. Well, pick up the island. Opponent. Did they find removal? Doomblade's Delver. Gets in. Well, we will trade it off. Bounce land. Well, let's gush. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Probe. Oh, they have another Chainer's Edict. Oh, this is unfortunate. So we get down an Angler, but it's just going to die. The only good news is this might let us Daze the Exhume. Wow, these Bajukabogs. We need like a Thought Scour or something. Mental note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, play Snow-covered island, pass the turn. The Bajukabog seems to be the mirror breaker. It's been so good for our opponent. Holy mother of mercy. This is getting a little bit insane. Cycle Ash Barrens. And let's Brainstorm. Put back the 2 islands. Play Terramorphic Expanse. Pass the turn. We might still be ahead, thanks to that Brainstorm, even with infinite Bajukabogs. And now we have removal for our opponent's future threats. Guildgate. Well, crack Terramorphic Expanse. Grab an island. I'll play the island. And Gurmag Angler. Pass the turn. I guess our opponent can... They can Chainer's Edict, but we can Daze unless they top-decked another land. Alright, so we Daze. Wow! This deck is playing a lot of Bajukabogs. Hard counter would be sweet. Well, get in with Gurmag Angler, hit our opponent, pass the turn. Oh, come on, no untap lands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Spell Pierce. Oddly is... Oh my goodness. As good as the Bajukabogs have been, the tap lands are kind of brutalizing our opponent. Get in with Angler, play Snow-covered island, run out Sultai Scavenger, pass the turn, and the tap lands might have been our opponent's demise. Opponent. Forbidden Alchemy. Desperation. Oh my goodness. Live by the tap land, die by the tap land. What do you got, opponent? Exhume. Gets back a Muldrifter. Okay. And opponent scoops it up? Wow. The Bajukabogs were incredibly good, but they ended up beating our opponent in the end. Oh my goodness. Oh, we don't actually have hard counters. We don't have any counter spells in this deck. 0. Well, Hydroblast doesn't help. Dispel is fine. Spell Pierce is fine. Edicts, meh. Stormbound Geist, I think, comes in. What are we cutting is a big question. Maybe go down Divest. Bring in Stormbound Geist. Bring in Dispel. And maybe just run it like that. Man, those Bajukabogs are annoying. Goodness gracious. Well, alright. We got a Delver. Dismal Backwater. We draw. Gosh. Well, play the land. Play Delver. Pass the turn. Island. And Duress. Yep. Yeah, I got options, opponent. We could end up getting mana screwed if they take the Ponder. Takes Ponder. And preordains. Well, let's get a nice blind flip of this Delver. Opponent's passing. Delver. Alright. Terramorphic. Well, get in with Delver. Play Terramorphic. Pass the turn. Dismal Backwater. Well, mental note. Opponent Doomblades. Well, sack Terramorphic. Grab a Swamp. Can we Ponder first? Yeah, let's Ponder. No lands. Let's shuffle. Get down to Gurmag Angler. Pass the turn. Hope our opponent doesn't have an Edict. There's the Edict, of course. Yep. And a bounce land. Opponent, passing. Well, snow-covered island. Let's gush. Oh boy. Well, run out Scavenger. Pass the turn. Bounce land. Again. Opponent passes. I'll play snow-covered island. Get in with Scavenger. Hit our opponent. Pass the turn. Could use more cantrips. Opponent's getting the mana where Chainer's Edict's going to come back before too long. Well, get in with Scavenger. Hit our opponent. Play snow-covered island. Pass the turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So next turn our opponent can kill Scavenger. Spell Pierce helps. Get in with Scavenger. Well, maybe we can just protect this Scavenger. Hit our opponent. Alright, Terramorphic. That does mean we're giving up on a future Brainstorm shuffle, but land for our opponent. Alright, Chainer's Edict. We Spell Pierce. Opponent passing. Well, crack this. Grab a 1, 2, 3. I guess we'll grab a Swamp. Ooh, Thought Scour's sweet. Well, get in with Scavenger. Play Snow-Covered Island. Thought Scour. Actually, let's see. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gurmag Angler, go. So we have Dispel and Daze, which isn't great here, but maybe this deck is working. This actually feels pretty good. Opponent said they flooded out pretty hard, and off to a good start with Blue-Black Delve. I guess that's the power of the deck. We just keep slamming big things really quickly. Just keep slamming big things really quickly, and sometimes it works. Sometimes it works. Sweet. All right, playing Pauper time. We are delving. Blue-Black Delve. Delve. Delve-er. Delving and Delvers. And, alright, we don't have a threat, but we have some cantrips. Ugh, Mountain. Goblin Cohort. Okay, let's see how this goes. I wonder how we beat goblins. I guess probably sticking a quick... Well, Snow-Covered Island. Preordain. Angler Thought Scour. Oh, put on top, put on top. We gotta keep Angler, and hopefully we can just Thought Scour into black mana. Mountain. Burning Tree Emissary. Well, Daze. Not ideal, but we do what we gotta do. We can't let our opponent get too far ahead. Gets in with the cohort. Down to 18. I'll play Snow-Covered Island. Pass the turn. I don't really want to probe for life if we can help it. We need to find a swamp pretty quick. Good golly. Well, good thing we daze the first one, because that's a lot of burning trees. Oh, man. Opponent. Opponent. Living the dreams. Well, that's Thought Scour. Brainstorm. We didn't mill any black mana. Thought Scour. Well, let's Brainstorm. Still no black mana. Put back to Vest. Put back Spell Pierce. Play Snow-Covered Island. Thought Scour ourselves. Ugh. Maybe we just can't keep hands that don't have black mana. Opponent, land. Mod Conscripts. Holy. Are we dead? I think we're dead. Yeah, we're dead. That's 14. All right. I don't know if that's just how that deck works. You don't usually play against goblins, but boy, that was brutal. That was pretty good. Well, we get 4 Hydroblasts, which should be helpful. We can bring in Diabolic Edicts. Nausea and Shrivel do not seem good. Augur of Bolus has some potential as well if we can figure out what to cut. As far as cuts, we can go down Spell Pierce. Maybe we cut the Dazes. Cut Daze. Disfigure, Ghastly Demise, Diabolic Edict, Snuff Out. And maybe we just gotta cut probes. Brainstorm, Ponder, Preordaining, Thought Scour, Mental Note. Alright, well let's try it like that. If we can stick a big angler, I think we got a shot. We get to play first. Well, our mana's better. That's good. Snow-Covered Island, Delver. Pass the turn. And we do have a removal spell, which is also good. Mountain for our opponent. And Goblin Cohort, sure. Opponent, passing. Do we flip the Delver? Yes. Flip with a Ghastly Demise. Get in with Delver. Terramorphic, go. Jackal Familiar. Okay. Mod Conscript. Okay. We do need to Hydroblast something. I guess just Cohort. Because we need cards in the graveyard. So destroy Cohort. Sack Terramorphic. Get a Swamp. Untap. Another Hydroblast is nice. Get in with our Delver. Play Terramorphic. Pass the turn. So now we still have multiple removal spells and a counter up. Opponent. Valley Dasher. Yeah, let's Hydroblast. And Foundry Street. Okay. Beginning of combat. Ghastly Demise. Conscript. So now Jackal Familiar also can attack. Get a Snow-Covered Island. Yeah. Cannot attack or block alone, and that is alone. Opponent passes. Snow-Covered Island. Well, let's Gush. Pick up our islands. Play Snow-Covered Island. Play Scavenger. Get in with the Delver. And pass the turn. I mean, we're still at 20, and our opponent's only got 3 cards in hand. Alright, they found a Bolt. And there's Bushwhacker. Alright, opponent's going to get in as much damage as they can, which makes sense. Opponent hits us for 8. Yep, down to 12. Play another Delver. Get in with the Delver. Play Snow-Covered Island. Pass the turn. Mountain. Opponent. Gonna go attacking. Well, kill Jackal Familiar. Take 2. Does Delver flip? No. Well, go attacking. Hit our opponent to 4. I don't think they could kill us from here. That would be unfortunate if they could somehow kill us. Mog Flunkies. Opponent gets in. Opponent needs something to not just be dead, though. Does Delver flip? Oh my god. Well, go to combat. Attack. Wow, they have a Fire Blast. Oh, and we drew double lands in a row. So a top deck could actually beat us if our opponent can draw a haste creature. Opponent. I guess I could also draw a Bolt. Gets in. Well, Cycle Ash Barrens. If we whiff again, I'm going to be very sad. Delver. Please? I don't know why our opponent's in the tank. Alright, Preordain flips. Cast Preordain. Neither of these cards is relevant. Attack with Delver. Oh my goodness. Oh boy, that was close. That was super close. Good lord. Oh my god. We had a lot of removal and that was still really close. Man, I'd love to just stick a early Gurmag Angler. It seems so helpful. Do we want the Dazes on the draw? It is a way to stop a 2-drop. Divest seems a bit questionable. Let's bring back in a couple Dazes. Divest it, Daze at least, we can stop like the horde of Burning Tree emissaries that can come down on turn 2. Alright, I like this hand. This is actually a hand that can give us a quick Gurmag Angler, potentially. And we have a Hydroblast and a Daze. Opponent. Mountain. And Foundry Street. Yep. This is interesting. So let's say we play this island. We Thought Scour and Daze. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Huh. That's still not enough. Well, let's just Snow-Covered Island go. I guess we're looking towards like turn 3 for Angler. We can Hydroblast here if we need to. We can also Hydroblast plus Daze, which might be even better. Mountain. Goblin Cohort. Okay. Palms Foundry Street. Opponent gonna get in for 2. Alright, let's just take it. Down to 18. Thought Scour ourselves. Untap. Play Snow-Covered Swamp. And let's pass. Let's pass, leave up our removal, and try to get down Angler next turn. Mountain. Burning Tree Emissary. Well, we will counter it. Jackal Familiar. Well, we will Daze it. Opponent goes attacking. Well, we will Disfigure it. Take 1. Untap. Ooh, and a Ghastly Demise. Well, play Gurmag Angler. Exiling everything. Play Delver. Pass the turn. And we got the big old fish, which is probably enough. We just kind of killed everything. And opponent scoops it up. This felt miserable in round 1, or game 1 of this match. It felt like we just could not win. And we kind of just cruised. This deck feels powerful. It feels powerful. Gurmag Angler, pretty big in Pauper. Sweet. All right, playing Pauper time. We are delvering in Pauper. And we got a Delver. Do we want to probe? I guess we can probe. I don't think it's going to change our line of play, but we might as well. Boggles again. Ledge. Okay. This is actually pretty fine. Play Delver. Our opponent kept only a Ledgewalker as their creature. So, assuming we can counter Ledgewalker with the Daze, and then maybe Spell Pierce our opponent's... I guess this is not going to work, because our opponent can Utopia Sprawl. Well, they only have 1 land. I guess the question is going to be, does our opponent draw an untap land? Opponent passes. Delver. Flips with a Divest. Well, let's ponder and see if we can find a black source. Ugh. Alright. We need to shuffle. Probe. Come on, Swamp. Swamp. Oh, opponent has untapped mana. Get in with Delver. Ugh, I think we're going to lose now, unfortunately. Unless our opponent, like, makes a mistake. They do not. There's Ledgewalker. Yep. Well, Daze Cartouche. So close to being good. Opponent passes. Play Snow-Covered Island. Get in with the Insect. Hit our opponent. Pass the turn. Well, maybe Delver can take it home. We do have a Spell Pierce. Colony Garden. Ethereal Armor. Well, let's Spell Pierce. Opponent's going to pay. And then we are going to Daze number 2. And hope that we could just ride this Delver in our single island to victory. Opponent gets in. Yep, down to 15. Disfigure. Well, play Snow-Covered Island. Get in with our Insect. Opponent down to 11. Pass the turn. It's going to depend on what auras our opponent finds. If they can find something with lifelink, or just make Ledgewalker huge, then things are sketchy. Rancor, okay. We can potentially race that. Opponent gets in for 3. Yep. Well, let's Thought Scour ourselves. Angler, but we don't have black... Well, Alright, Brainstorm. See if we just hit a swamp. We do not. Put back, Divest, and Disfigure. Play Terramorphic. Get in with our Insect. Opponent down to 9. Well, let's see what our opponent draws. We have hope if they don't find something crazy. Opponent. Cartouche. Alright, that's not too crazy. Blossoming Sands. Oh, that 1 point of life is actually relevant. Opponent. Getting in for 4. Yep. Down to 8. Well, crack Terramorphic. Grab a Swamp. Untap. Ooh, Swamp is pretty good. Thought Scour ourselves. Play Snow-Covered Swamp. Get in with Delver. Play Scavenger. Play Angler. Pass the turn. That 1 point of life off Blossoming Sands means our clock is 1 turn slower, though. Land for our opponent. And we can't block this with Gurmag Angler. Opponent hits us. Well, let's see what we can Brainstorm into. Down to 4. Maybe we can find 2 removal spells. Brainstorm. Snuff Out doesn't really help. Put back Snuff Out. Put back Snow-Covered Island. Play Snow-Covered Island. Mental Note. Terramorphic. Well, attack. Yeah, attack. Well, this is the turn of truth. Can we survive? Opponent blocks. Yep. Pass the turn. No aura. We need our opponent to whiff on an aura. Land. Oh, they drew it. Alright. Well, opponent top decks at the right time and steals the victory. Okay. Well, against this deck, we get Diabolic Edicts and Nauseas. Also Spell Pierce. We will go down Disfigures. Go down Snuff Outs. Go down Agataxian Probe. Wow, that was so close. Alright, try it like that. Alright, we are on the play. Alright, we'll keep. We have a Daze, which is good. Well, let's probe. See what our opponent's working with. Boggle. Alright, 1 Boggle, 1 land, and a million auras. Play Snow-Covered Island. Pass the turn. Colony Garden. Well, mental note. Ooh, Divest is sweet. Divest lets us steal the Boggle. Play Snow-Covered Swamp. Divest the Boggle. Play Delver. Pass the turn. I guess our opponent can go in on this plant. Abundant Growth. Draws a card. Yep. And passing. Alright, Delver flipping? No. Snow-Covered Island. Well, get in with Delver. Hit our opponent. Play Snow-Covered Island. Pass the turn. Another Abundant Growth. Well, yeah, let's Daze. Deny our opponent the card draw. Opponent, passing. Well, cycle Ash Barrens. Get a land out of our deck. Grab a Swamp. Untap. Delver. Flipping. Please. Alright, Preordain. That works. So flip Delver. Preordain. Bottom and top Ghastly Demise. Gush. Draw a couple cards. Brainstorm. Put back Snow-Covered Island and Snow-Covered Island. Actually, maybe Swamp. Snow-Covered Island and Swamp. Probe our opponent. Divest. Take Glade Cover Scout. Gurmag Angler. And now I feel like we're in pretty good shape. Get in with the Insect. We are drawing a relatively useless land next turn. Although we do have a Ponder. Opponent's probably going to have to go in on this planet some... Oh, they top decked another Scout. Alright, opponent's staying alive. Man, Shrivel would be insanely sweet. Well, Snow-Covered Island. Ponder. Alright. Yeah, I mean, take another Angler. We're just going to try to close out this game. Go attacking. Opponent takes it. Angler number 2. Pass the turn. Alright, opponent finds a land finally, but I think it's just going to be too late. Ethereal Armor. Okay. And Rancor. Sure. But our opponent's just dead. Opponent. Alright. Ghastly Demise. The plant. Untap. Attack. Opponent gets to eat a Gurmag Angler, but we still have lethal. Opponent blocks. And that's 8. Alright. Well, we took it. We took the game. It required our opponent to be slightly mana screwed. Unfortunately, things are a lot harder on the draw, but we'll try it. Well, can't keep the 0-lander. Well, I guess we can keep this. We have a Brainstorm. I don't think we want another Ghastly Demise. We'll see. Forest for our opponent. And Utopia Sprawl. Yep. On green. Opponent. Passing. Snow-Covered Island, go. Spell Pierce isn't the worst. Forest. There's a Ledgewalker. Playing around the Daze. Abundant Growth. Yep. Draws a card. Well, I guess we got a Brainstorm here. Put back Ghastly Demise and Delver. Play Terramorphic. Pass the turn. I think we gotta leave up Spell Pierce, unfortunately. Planes for our opponent. Something like Armadillo Cloak is just so unbeatable. Or even Ancestral Mass. Another Ledgewalker. Man, our dream is to find a Shrivel. Abundant Growth. Okay. Man, if we could find a Shrivel here, that would be a way to just steal this game. Rancor. Do we want to spend our Spell Pierce? Oh, we really want to Brainstorm for Shrivel. Alright. We're going to let this go. Opponent. Gets in. Shrivel's our way to win the game. Sack Terramorphic. Get a Swamp. Yep. Brainstorm. Edict doesn't quite do it. Put back Angler and Daze. Untap. Play Terramorphic. Sack Terramorphic. Get a Snow-Covered Island. Oh, do we just Gush? Nah, I think we pass. Let's pass. Pass and leave up our counters. Next turn we can Gush. Heloid's Pilgrim. Okay. I mean, we still have basically the same out that we're looking for. Ethereal Armor. Well, we will hardcast Daze. Opponent gets in. Hits us for 4. Oh, come on, Shrivel. Shrivel. Thought Scour. Well, that's Preordain. Bottom, bottom. Gush. Ponder. Play Snow-Covered Island. Play Angler. Pass the turn. The problem is if we don't find our Shrivel soon, it's going to be too late because they're going to find a way to boost the toughness on a Ledgewalker. Well, we will Spell Pierce Ancestral Mask. All right. We get one more turn at it. Phone it. Yeah. Utopia Sprawl. Gets in for 4. We do have a Ponder to keep digging. Phone it hits us. Down to 9. Oh, come on, Shrivel. Spell Pierce. Well, let's Ponder. Shuffle. Play the land. Get in with Gurmag Angler. Pass the turn. I think it's too late. We saw a lot of cards, but we just could not find a Shrivel. Phone it. Yeah, that does it. Brainstorm. Yeah, alright, wasn't meant to be. And we will scoop it up. We did what we could! We lived as long as we could, but we just could not find it. Oh, so many looks, so many shuffles. Well, yeah, what can you do? What can you do? Sweet. Alright, playing Pauper time. We are delving. Blue-black delve. And Pauper, and we'll try this. I mean, we got a Delver. We got infinite dazes. Daze for days and days. Snow-covered island. Opponent, passing. Well, Snow-covered island, Delver. Opponent, cycles and ash barrens. Alright. Well, our Delver's gonna get bolted, I assume. Or Scredded. That also works. Preordain, sure. Opponent, passes. Well, play Terramorphic. Pass the turn. Augur of Bolus. Yeah, let's Daze. Evolving Wilds. Opponent cracks it. Well, crack Terramorphic. Grab a Swamp. Opponent passes. Well, RA plays Snow-covered island. Pass the turn. Snow-covered island. Ninja of the Deep Hours. Well, let's Daze. Opponent passes. Delve. Ooh, Disfigure. Alright, Snow-covered island, go. We're keeping our opponent from killing us, but we're not really finding any threats yet. I'm glad we countered that Augur. Opponent would have Augured, Ninja'd Augur, Augured again. Delver. Yep. Opponent passing. Well, Disfigure. Do we want to cycle? I'd rather draw Brainstorm. Now, let's see what we draw. Gush. Well, I mean, let's Gush. Probe. We'll pay life. Ninja Snow-covered island. Thought Scour ourselves. Preordain. Ooh, there's Brainstorm. Oh, put on top. Snow-covered island. And let's just pass. Well, we're getting the lands out of our deck. We know we're drawing Brainstorm. We know we want to draw Brainstorm. So I don't think there's a ton of value in preordaining. Snow-covered island. Brainstorm. There's an Angler. Put back the 2 snow-covered islands. Divest. Take the Ninja. Pass the turn. Alright, well, hopefully we just stick this Angler and win. Opponent passes, so cycle Ash Barrens. Grab a Swamp. Well, let's preordain. Bottom, top. Snow-covered island. Angler. Pass the turn. Alright, opponent. Can you stop an Angler? And opponent scoops it up? Oh, man. We just completely out-tempoed our opponent there. That was a pretty impressive performance for our deck. We just picked them apart. And then stuck the Angler, and the Angler was good enough. Alright, so opponent's Delvering. We want Stormbound, guys. That's good against Delver. I kind of want Augur of Bolus to not let our opponent Ninja us into Oblivion, bringing in... Or going down, maybe probes. I might sideboard out probe too aggressively. Let's go down the divest, go up Spell Pierce and Dispel. And try it like that. Well, we got Delvers. We got many, many, many Delvers. Snow-covered island. Fairy Miscreant for our opponent. Well, Snow-covered island, Delver. Pass the turn. Opponent ponders. Let's flip this Delver. Blind flip. Snow-covered island. Ooh, double Miscreant. Opponent's going to town with the card draw. Maybe we should have brought in Shrivels. Gets in. Delver. Blind flip. No. I'll play a Delver. Play Snow-covered island. Play Preordain. Ugh. That's not going to help us with the flip. Bottom. Ugh. All of our lands in a row. Pass the turn. Opponent preordains. So many miscreants. And this lets our opponent ninjutsu, pick up a miscreant, draw a card, just do all that obnoxious stuff. Gets in. Yep. Ninja, they got it. Yep. That is exactly what we didn't want to see. Opponent's drawing. This is like the reversal of last game. Now let's upkeep Brainstorm. Put back, ponder, Thought Scour. Flip Delvers. Draw Thought Scour. Play Snow-covered island. Play Augur of Bolus. Put our 2 big delve creatures to the bottom. Well, we'll shuffle them back in. Go attacking. Hit our opponent. Opponent gets to draw another card thanks to Fairy Miscreant coming back again. Preordain. If they can get rid of our Augur of Bolus, they also get to draw a card with Ninja. Miscreant draws a card. There's the red mana. Kills a Delver, okay. Well, now we get to block Ninja at least. Opponent gets it. We will take it. Down to 15. Untap. Well, let's land cycle. Get a snow-covered swamp. Play the snow-covered swamp. Ponder. We're going to wait till next turn for the Geist and leave up this removal spell. Alright, we'll draw Dispel. Get in with Delver. And pass the turn. Land for our opponent. Gonna kill our Delver. I think we want that to live. Let's Dispel the Scred. Opponent counters the Dispel. Alright. Well, Delver down. Opponent gets in, gets in. Yep. Ninja. Well, kill Ninja. Opponent passing. They are going to get another Fairy Miscreant draw, though. These Miscreants have been insane for our opponent. Opponent passes. We draw. Preordain. Now let's Preordain. Bottom, bottom. Run out Angler. Play Terramorphic. Pass the turn. Alright, alright. This is going to be close. Opponent has outdrawn us, I think, thanks to these Miscreants. Miscreant draws a card. They've used 2 Screds, though, and that's our best way of killing a Gurmag Angler. Cycles, Mountain. Jeez, Mono Screds. Well, let's Thought Scour. Alright. Opponent kills it. Ugh. So many. So many Screds. Well, our opponent's running out of Screds, and there's no snap. Oh, my God. Gosh. Yeah. Looking bad. Looking bad. Opponent's just got the card advantage engine working. Opponent gets in, gets in. Or gets in. Do they have another ninja? Please no. Oh, they do. Oh, God. God almighty. Well, you're seeing why ninjas and Fairy Miscreants are good together. Opponent's just drawn way more cards than we have. Miscreant draws a card. Opponent passes. Well, we get to gush. Play Stormbound Geist. Play Snow-covered Island. Play Scavenger. Pass the turn. I mean, we got our defenses up. We'll see if it's enough. Opponent's probably got a million bolts. Snow-covered Island. Delver. Delver. Well, I got a million Delvers. Opponent passing. Well, Brainstorm. Put back Daze. Put back Snow-covered Island. Sack Terramorphic. Grab a Snow-covered Swamp. Gush. Brainstorm. Put back Snow-covered Island. and Ash Barrens. Gurmag Angler. Play Terramorphic. Pass the turn. Well, we'll see. Does our opponent flip the Delvers? Delver. No flip yet. Alright. That's good. Evolving Wilds. Opponent. No attacks. Well, sack Terramorphic. Snow-covered island. Untap. Play Snow-covered island. Thought Scour ourselves. Snuff Out's pretty interesting. Get in with Gurmag Angler. Opponent blocks. And blocks. And blocks. Okay, so let's Ghastly Demise a ninja. Spell Stutter Sprite. Well, Snuff Out a ninja. Alright, down to 8. Spell Stutter resolves. We kill some stuff. Scavenger, part 2. Pass the turn. Alright, opponent sacks. Gets a land. We are down to 8. Do the Delvers flip? No flip yet. Alright. Alright. We have hope. Another Delver. Sure. Opponent. Passing. Terramorphic. How greedy is it to attack with everything? The Delver's flipping is what kills us. Well, go to combat. So, we attack just here. Opponent takes it. We attack here and here. If we attack with all 3, our opponent has to do something. If the Delvers flip and we attack with a flyer, 1, 3, 6, 9, yeah, we're dead. If we have 2 blockers, 3, 4, 5, but then we're dead to a removal spell. Yeah, attack with 2. We got to keep the pressure on. Opponent takes it. Well, play Terramorphic. Crack Terramorphic. Grab a Snow-covered island. Angler. Play Angler. Pass the turn. Alright, this is the moment of truth. Opponent needs their Delvers to flip, and I think they also need a removal spell. No flip. No flip. Delver gods favor us. No flip. No flip. Oh, man. Now the odds of us winning is very high. Stormbound Geist. Okay. Opponent. Passes. Another Daze. Well, go to combat. So opponent... let's just attack with the 2 anglers. Delvers flip. Block, block, block. If we attack with the flyers, they get a free block here. If we attack with all this, opponent has to block everything. They block here, block here, block here. Actually, we eat a Delver, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. We eat 1 Delver, but they're going to have a Stormbound Geist, 2 Delvers. If we attack with just the ground creatures, opponent blocks and blocks. Let's say they flip Delver with a removal spell. Alright, let's just attack with the 2 anglers. This means even if they flip Delvers with a removal spell, we're not just dead. Opponent blocks and blocks. Alright, how's your Delvers, opponent? Delvers, triggering, 3. Flips with a Ponder. Yep. Alright, well, that's what our opponent wanted, needed. Plays a land. Ponders. Well, let's see what they find to go with it. They probably need a Gush. I don't think 1 removal spell does it. They kill this. We block, Yeah. 1 removal spell doesn't do it. Opponent needs multiple removal spells. Unlikely that these 2 Dazes are going to be helpful. This has been an incredibly close game. Opponent's planning things out. Ponder resolves. And opponent scoops it up. Cannot get through the Delve wall. And, alright. Delver Delve, taking down Delver Delver. Alright, we'll take it. Sweet. Alright, playing Pauper time. No lands, got a ship. Okay. Maybe a fast angler. We are playing some blue-black Delve. In Pauper, of course. And hopefully we can set up for a turn 3 angler. We'll keep Ponder. Can never have too many cantrips. Windscarred Crag. Ooh, is this like Kadoltha Boros? No idea how this matchup goes. Let's Snow-covered island. Ponder. We want the gush. We don't mind the probe. So Terramorphic, probe gush. Yeah. So we draw the gush, and this means next turn we draw probe. And then we can shuffle with Terramorphic to get rid of the land if we want to. The Raven Inspector. Clue. And a mountain. Opponent passes. Probe. So Terramorphic, crack it to get rid of Terramorphic. Grab a swamp. Let's probe for life. See what's in our opponent's hand. Bolt, Blast, Journey to Nowhere, Core Skyfisher. Okay. Snow-covered island. 1, 2, 3. That Journey to Nowhere is just going to kill our... Now let's preordain. The Journey to Nowhere is just going to kill our Gurmag Angler anyway. Terramorphic bottom, preordain top. Pass the turn. So, I mean, we can play Gurmag Angler, but it's probably going to die to this Journey that we don't really have an answer to. Opponent. Getting in with Thrabes. Yeah. Down to 17. And Skyfisher. Yep. Picks up Thraben Inspector. Ugh. And they hit the land drop. Alright. Well, we know our opponent's hand. Opponent passes. Well, Ghastly Demise isn't the worst. Let's preordain. Ooh. Mental Note Angler. We want both of these. Put on top. Put on top. Play Snow-Covered Island. Probe, not paying life. Get a look at the hand. Pass the turn. Maybe we can fight through this. We know we're losing our first Gurmag Angler. Well, Ghastly Demise, Skyfisher. Opponent. Cracks the clue. Replays Thraben Inspector. Yup. Did they find a land? Yes. Boros Garrison. Picks up the mountain. And passes. Well, let's Mental Note. Play Snow-Covered Island. Play Delver. Play Gurmag Angler, number 1. Pass the turn. So we know our stuff is just going to die, but we can refuel pretty well. There's Journey to Nowhere to take down Angler. Yep. Can't stop it. Opponent. Gets in for 1. We will take it. Down to 16. Galvanic Blast the Delver. And more Thraben Inspectors. Yup. And Windscarred Crag. Well, opponent's got Bolt and 1 unknown. Opponent passes. Terramorphic. Let's Gush. Pick up a couple lands. Probe our opponent. Lightning Bolt Mountain. Thought Scour ourselves. Jeez. Well, Gurmag Angler. Play a Terramorphic. Pass the turn. I'm a little worried we're going to run out of threats. I guess we still have 2 more Anglers. Alchemist Vial. Alright. I guess that's a temporary way to stop Angler. Draws a card. Cracks the clue. Scavenger dies to Bolt. Great Furnace. Opponent. Passes. Well, crack Terramorphic. Grab a Swamp. Oh, so many lands. Well, get in with Angler. Hopefully our opponent did not draw another Galvanic Blast. Jeez, they did. Galvanic Blast kills our Angler. That's less than ideal. Well, I mean, play Scavenger to its inevitable demise. Play Snow-Covered Island, pass the turn. How many lands are left in our deck? There's the Bolt, I'm sure. Bolts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we only got 6 lands left. So we should, for the love of God, stop drawing them. Opponent gets in. Down to 15. Cracks the clue. Well, thankfully our opponent's about out of card draw finally. If they find a way to become Monarch, that's super bad for us. Bounce land. Yep, passes. Alright, Terramorphic go. Well, we're just going to have 0 lands left in our deck, and that's going to guarantee that we're going to draw action, because there won't be any other possibilities. Opponent gets in with Raven Inspector. Well, crack Terramorphic. We're going to do a quick little count here, because the number's super low. 3 basics, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so we literally will have 4 lands left in our deck after this. 4. So we better stop drawing them. Okay. Pass the turn. I think we've broken a record. 3, 2. We have 0 lands in our deck! How is this a possible thing that can be happening to us? How is this possible? It's literally... We've drawn 80% of the lands in the top of our deck. Opponent gets in. Our opponent probably has a handful of removal spells. We're going to need like another Gush or something. Boros Garrison picks up a land. Alright, we're going to cycle. Let's do another count just to make sure we're not missing anything. 1, 2. 2 lands. 2. 2. If we draw a land here... Oh! The odds are so small! It's really unbelievable. 1! 1 land left! 1! We've drawn 99.999% of our lands in the top 33 cards. Wow. Okay. Opponent, action, action. Sax a clue. Well, I think we're dead to the magic gods. The magic gods have definitely frowned upon us. You know we're going to draw the last land. The 1 in a million, just for the ultimate rub-ins. Windscard Craig. We could fetch it with Terramorphic, but we shouldn't draw it. Divest. Alright, well, what do you got over there, opponent? Probably a million burn spells, I presume, and removal spells. Ugh, this has been the nightmare. Oh, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I mean, we are literally dead. This might be one of those games where you gotta pull out the calculator. The good old hyper-geometric calculator. Because the odds. I gotta pull it up. Between matches, we will pull it up. Opponent gets in and kills us. I mean, if they cast their spells, we die. And little do they know, we don't have any hard counters. So if they ever cast their spells, they can do it at their leisure. I'm gonna get the calculator ready. Opponent's waiting. Well, preordain. Bottom, top. I mean, play Gurmag Angler. Play Snow-Covered Island. Pass the turn. Are we dead? Opponent's not casting them yet. They're very afraid of counterspells. Glinthawk can pick up Alchemist Vial. Yep. Alchemist Vial draws a card. Opponent's deck seems pretty good. Alright, we're gonna call it a day. Opponent is now officially the Monarch. Alright, it's hypergeometric calculator time. I can't resist. So, 60 card deck. There are 16 lands. We drew 31 cards. And we drew 15 of the 16. That's a lot of zeros. We did 16. Alright. 0.00006. So 6 out of every 10,000 games. I'm gonna go buy a lottery ticket. Oh, magic gods, why do you hate us? Alright, so playing against Kadaltha Boros or something? I don't know what we do about this matchup. This might just be like a bad matchup. Like Hydroblast. Magic gods. Like, I don't know if Hydroblast does enough. It stops some of their burn spells, but all of their creatures, I think, are white. Augur of Bolas, I guess, is fine value, but I don't know if it really will help us win. Unfortunately, they don't have that many answers to Gurmag Angler, but let's bring in Stormbound Geist. And I kind of want to bring in Augur of Bolas. just to have another creature with the Monarch. Like, if we can kill their stuff, Disfigure... I don't think Disfigure is good enough. It doesn't kill their big finishers. And man, maybe go down a couple Gitaxian probes. Diabolic Edict is probably fine, although not super good. Spell Pierce, sort of so-so. And let's go down 1 Daze for a Diabolic Edict. Try it like that. We mostly got to make sure that once our opponent starts playing their Monarch stuff, we can steal the Monarchy from them. We get to play first. Alright, we'll keep it. I mean, Delver with Daze backup and then hopefully Preordain to flip it. Seems fine. Island, Delver. Go. Bonat. Do they have the Bolt? They do not. Ancient Den. And Thraben Inspector. Alright, come on, Delver. Do some flipping. Do some flipping. Delver. Alright, Diabolic Edict. That works. Let's Preordain. Do we want more than 1 land? Maybe? We kind of want 3 lands overall. We'll probably draw into more, though. Let's go Ash Barrens bottom, Terramorphic top. Play Terramorphic. Get in with our Delver. Pass the turn. Radiant Fountain. Ooh, opponent does not have red mana, though. Goes to combat. Getting in. We will take it. I guess Radiant Fountain gains our opponent some life. Relic of Progenitus. We can't stop that. Well, Crack Terramorphic Expanse. That is going to make casting our Delve stuff a lot harder. That's a really good sideboard card against us. Eats our Terramorphic. Opponent passes. Well, let's ponder. More black mana, eh? Oh, put on top. Put on top. Put on top. No shuffle. Draw Snow-Covered Swamp. Get in with Delver. Hit our opponent. And yeah, let's just pass. Opponent. Exiling stuff from our graveyard. Alchemist Vial. Alright, draws a card. We'll let that go. Finds the red mana. Uh-oh. Well, that means bolts are going to be incoming. Opponent. Gets it. Yeah, let's kill it. Get rid of the Inspector. Opponent passes. Well, get in with Delver. Hit our opponent. Play Delver number 2. Pass the turn. I mean, our Delvers are going, but now our opponent's going to have a million lightning bolts, I presume. And it's going to be challenging to resolve our anglers. We're going to have to, like, one-shot them pretty much. There's the bolt for our opponent. Delver 1 down. Prophetic Prism. Well, let's get some value from this. We're running out of time to get value from Daze. Keeps our opponent from drawing a card. Delver flips with Ponder. Get in with Delver. Hit our opponent. Play the Snow-Covered Island or Preordain. Bottom and bottom. Alright, pass the turn. Augur Bolus isn't horrible. Opponent, gonna exile, sure. More bolts. So many bolts. Thraben Inspector. Yup. Opponent passes. Let's Brainstorm. Hopefully we hit a land, and then we can augur things to the bottom. Wow, opponent gives up on the relic. Interesting. Alright, we Brainstorm. Oh dear. Well, that is not what we were hoping for. Ugh. Well, put back, put back. Oh, we really needed to hit a land there. Pass the turn. Now we're having kind of the opposite trouble, where we're actually a little stuck on lands. Opponent, getting in. Yup, down to 18. Land. That's the nightmare. And this is how the game ends. Yup. Now we're done. So we get to Thought Scour ourselves. Ghastly Demise, but yeah, it's done. The Monarchy is probably the most powerful. It's the closest thing you have to like a Planeswalker in the Pauper format, and It just spirals out of control. That's why we really needed some Augur Boluses and stuff. Yeah. Actually getting pretty close to just conceding. Opponent, Alchemist Vial. Because it doesn't look like much, but Pauper is a really weird format. There's no catch-up mechanism. Well, there's our blue mana finally, but it's a bit late. Let's preordain. Daze bottom. Augur of Bolus bottom. Snow-covered island. I mean, I guess we probe, because why not? Glint Hulk, Galvanic Blast, Prismatic Strands. Brainstorm. Put back Island Thought Scour. Play Gurmag Angler. And pass the turn. Opponent's still drawing 2 cards a turn, though. Which is just so brutal. Opponent. There's the Glint Hawk. Gets to pick up Alchemist Vial, I guess. Yup. Replays Vial. Windsguard Craig. Opponent. Gets in with Skyfisher. Yup. Draws an extra card. Let's see what we find. Thought Scour. So we start by Thought Scouring ourselves. Play Augur of Bolus. Removal. Divest. Take Divest, I guess. Divest our opponent. Oh, they got all the burn. Alright. Yeah, we're dead. Oh, that was a nightmare match. The Magic Gods suddenly decided they didn't like us anymore. Oh, boy. Well, maybe that's just a hard matchup. I will say, I stopped mid-rant, but you should be playing more Monarch and Pauper. It is the single, I think, most powerful mechanic in the Pauper format, because Pauper, unlike other formats, there's no catch-up mechanism. It is 100% about grinding out card advantage and just having more cards than your opponent. And that makes the Monarch basically like the Planeswalkers, the Jace the Mind Sculptor of the Pauper format. So I think that even though it's catching on, it is criminally underplayed. It is seriously the best thing going in the Pauper format because it does exactly what you want to be doing in Pauper, which is just eventually having more cards than your opponent because you don't have powerful cards. I mean, you have powerful cards, but you don't have game-winning cards where you can just, like, play an Emrakul or play something that wins the game by itself. And you also don't have the ability to catch up with a Wrath. There's no Anger of the Gods. There's no Wrath of Gods. So you can't play that game style. So there's not that many 2-for-1. So it's all about 1-for-1ing. And if you can have more cards in the 1-for-1 battle, that's how you win games. So TLDR, we lost to Monarch. You should play more Monarch because it is seriously just the best in Pauper. So what do we learn this week about Blue-Black Delver for Pauper? And overall, you're kind of seeing a mashup of 2 leagues. So League 1 was a 3-2. And then I played another league, and that one ended 2-3, but all of our losses were to Boggles. Boggles is a very, very, very extremely bad matchup for this deck. We have some sideboard stuff, but I think over the course of the 10 matches in the 2 leagues, I lost to Boggles 4 times. Once in the first league, 3 times in the second league. So that was a huge part of our losses, was just not being able to beat Boggles. So that's a problem that we probably should shore up. Maybe with more Edict effects, Changer's Edict could be really good. But regardless, the deck was competitive enough to post a winning record, and I feel like some of the drawbacks or flaws of the deck could be fixed with a bit of like sideboard changes or whatever. And so as far as the deck itself, it really does just feel like a Legacy deck. It feels like you're playing Blue-Black Death Shadow in Legacy or a Blue-Black Delver deck in the Legacy format because we're playing essentially like all Legacy staples, and it works very, very similarly to a deck that you would play in Legacy. So I feel like the deck is pretty strong. The biggest weakness we ran into outside of the Boggle non-boggles deck, which, oh, that's just, it's a nightmare, is that we had trouble with some of the go wide decks as well. Decks like Elves that can just go super wide can overwhelm our one big threat, and we don't have a lot of hard removal. Our Dazes are kind of soft removal. We can deal with singular threats with like Ghastly Demise, Disfigure, but we can't really deal with a whole board full of threats. So there are some matchups that can be very, very tricky, but the endless cantrips help us find our good cards at the right time, and we have a ton of cantrips. We're able to play our big delve threats really, really quickly. The mana base is a little bit clunky. I get the idea of having every non-shuffling land come into play untapped, but we did have some times where we weren't finding our swamp in a timely manner, or where we would get kind of stuck with these hands like Ash Barrens as our one land in our opener, because we only have 16 lands in the deck, which means we're going to see a lot of 1 or 2 landers, and we're really trusting that our cantrips are going to hold things together. But if that one land is a Ash Barrens, in specific, it is not very good. So I almost think that maybe 2 Evolving Wilds would be better in this deck over the Ash Barrens. Ash Barrens is essentially a tap land anyway. Like, it doesn't come into play tap, but if you want colored mana, which we almost always do, it's going to have to come into play tapped essentially, because you got to spend that mana to tutor up the land. So I wonder if just playing a couple of Evolving Wilds with the Terramorphic Expanse might be a better option, just to make sure if we only have one land, it can always make colored mana, even if we gotta wait a turn to let our cantrips start doing their thing. So I feel like the deck is fairly competitive. If you enjoy Legacy and are looking to jump into Pauper, if you enjoy Delvery, Tempo-y style decks, I feel like this is a pretty good option. It's certainly not the tier build of Delver, the mono blue Delver, even the blue red builds of Delver. There's so many Delver decks running around, but this is a really unique take on Delver with the Delve sub-theme. So if you're looking for like spicy Delver that feels like a Legacy deck and is competitive enough to beat a lot of non-boggles decks in Pauper, I feel like it's a good option. I think for me, the 2 main changes I would make is number 1, more ways to deal with boggles and go wide decks. Nausea Shrivel's nice. I feel like maybe Chainer's Edict is worth some slots in the sideboard. The other thing I kind of missed was just hard counters. Finding room to have like actual counter spell would probably be worth it in the deck, because we ran into games where we would have Daze in hand, and if we were able to daze a spell, we would be able to win the game essentially, stop like the Armadillo Cloak going on the boggle, but our opponent would have the lands to pay for Daze. So while Daze is really good in some situations, I think having a couple of just actual literal counter spells as a way to still deal with our opponent's stuff once we get past like turn 2, turn 3, and our opponent can play around Daze, I feel like that would be a pretty good addition. Divest was pretty hit or miss. I feel like Divest maybe could go to the sideboard or maybe out of the deck altogether, and maybe that's the slot we could use on a couple of counter spells. So I feel like the deck is really close to where we want it to be, but a couple of slight changes could make it even better in some of the matchups that are a little bit bad, a little bit worse. But regardless, blue-black Delver, pretty sweet, did some really powerful things, felt like a Legacy deck. So if you're looking for a unique take on Delver in the Pauper format, give it a shot. It's pretty fun, pretty competitive, feels like Legacy. Anyway, that has been our Playing Pauper for this week. Blue-black Delver for Pauper. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon.
Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.